I think if I go back to New York at some point, I'm not going to stay in a hotel. I'll get a Airbnb or somewhere with a... Come on now, let's do this. Breaking down the 2021 New York City Marathon race. All right, I'll say right now, not the training block, the race. We'll do the entire training block, all the training that went into this race, probably in the next 2 or 3 days. So stay tuned. But you know my tradition. I always write on the back with a Sharpie, the date, the location, the time, and the place. All right, I guess I'll say right now, 3 hours and 46 minutes. Nope, nobody guessed that one. 662nd place. There it is on the back, and then I save all of my bib numbers forever and ever and ever. Okay, so lots to talk about, lots to break down. Interesting comment of the day, question of the day, and this is focused just on race day, okay? And frankly, this is a lot of fun, this vlog today, because it allows you to go back and think about your training block, which again, we'll break down soon, and then analyze how did that translate to race day, what all this work you put into the, whether it's a 10-week, 12, 16, maybe even longer training block for your peak races out there. So this is always part of the process after a big race. Okay, so remember, in the airport on the way to New York, I had a moment at DIA, Denver International Airport, sat down with all of you and broke down some points that I was reflecting on my way to New York. Remember, I talked about correct pacing corral, okay? Oh my goodness, the night and day. Here we go. We'll do a little split screen right now between 2019, and I should mention, I guess, right now, 2019, I raced my first New York City Marathon, and I'm going to be able now, I'll talk to you about the splits between 2019 and 2021. Fascinating split difference between these 2 years on, I'll say, fairly similar weather days, which is just interesting. So remember, correct pacing corral. Here we go, footage from 2019 and 2021. Let's just say we're moving up in the world, everybody. Oh, so much different. So much better. Okay, fueling. All right. Oh boy. Fueling, aid stations. We also talked about running form for speed, pacing. Okay. This is a key. I'll come back to that in a minute. Course preview. What is my strategy? And then making sure that you enjoy the entire process. Yes, including what happened in yesterday's vlog, upper right-hand corner, celebration. Okay. You always got to celebrate after a peak race. In my humble opinion, that's just how I roll here on YouTube. All right, so let's just dive in. Here we go. I'm gonna try and be as efficient as possible. I have notes, mental notes that I wrote down right after the race that I'm looking at right now on my computer screen. First of all, pre-race, I actually didn't realize I was gonna be hanging out with the elites in the same field house. I didn't know that. I knew that, I didn't realize I just would be with them. So that, I'm not saying it threw me off at all. It just got me giddy and excited for race day. I'm actually probably glad I didn't know ahead of time, because I probably would have been thinking about, what if I'm sharing a seat on the bus with Michaela, even though the elites were on a different bus. But anyway, it was epic to be in the same warm-up area as the elites. Starting area, obviously very different. So the gun goes off compared to 2019. I would say it saved at least 45 seconds being in the correct corral, okay? And that's a key point as you're registering for your peak races, especially these big city marathons. Make sure you fight to get into the right corral so you have people around you that are running the same pace, all right? That's a key point. So the gun goes off, you go up and over the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. It's a pretty good climb, and it's not, I wouldn't call it steep by any means, but it is a good little climb. I think at the top, you're at about 1 kilometer, maybe a little over 1 kilometer before you start going down the backside into Brooklyn. So first 5K, rolling with Jordan. Oh man, Jordan and I, we connected again, and I'll maybe mention Jordan, what happened with Jordan here at the end of the vlog. So 5K, rolling through Brooklyn. I'll talk about the splits here in a minute. Feeling good, feeling confident, feeling fresh, pretty fresh. Okay, let me just think. Yeah, no, I felt fresh. I'm not gonna say I felt like, let's say, as fresh as before the Pikes Peak Marathon, but I definitely wasn't tired. The legs just felt, frankly, pretty efficient. You know what? Okay. Felt strong. I'll try and do a split screen again. My 2019 running legs versus 2021. Old man strength. I do believe I got a little stronger in the last 2 years. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. You tell me in the comments. I definitely felt stronger out there. But again, I'm not saying that strength and muscle mass is what you want for marathon racing, but it is what it is. I do believe I felt stronger out there in the streets of Brooklyn for the first 5K. 10K, okay, we're rolling along through Brooklyn. Amazing crowds in Brooklyn. Thank you for being out there cheering. And you're probably wondering, all right, Seth, so what happened out there? Why did you run 3 hours for your marathon and not hit your, your A, B, and C goal? C goal, top 3 American. Actually, if you do the research, I think if I would have ran 2:19:59, which was my B goal, I think I don't even know if that would have been top 10. The Americans this year, compared to 2 years ago, I would say much more competitive. Shout out to, was Ben True, who was the first American? I haven't even had the chance yet to really analyze all the results. Shout out to Ben. It seemed like he had a great race. So bottom line, B goal, break 2:20, A goal, set a PR. And my PR is 2:23:36. So, the marathon. It's a mystery a little bit at this point. This is my 3rd road marathon, and I'll just dive into it. Here I am at about, I think, mile 10, when I started to feel, and I'm not exactly sure if this was the exact spot, mile 10, like I was just so focused on my stomach. So I had a gel, you know the Morton gels, it was the caffeinated version. We'll probably talk more about that soon. But I had the gel, and I think it was part of the process of setting my stomach off. However, I'm just gonna tell you, I think if I go back to New York at some point, I'm not gonna stay in a hotel. I'll get a Airbnb or somewhere with a kitchenette. So I think it's hard in New York City. It's a city of restaurants. And I tried to just eat simply, but I think the portions were a little too big. I'm just gonna call it. Like the pasta portions, I was eating some pasta beforehand, and I just think the portions, it was different than what I was used to. And I'm comparing it to my Pikes Peak Marathon race, where I was here at the house the night before the race, 2 nights before the race, and you just cook your own meals, and you're kind of used to your own cooking. And even though you're eating simple food in New York City, they use oils and they use spices, and even though I just got spaghetti. It's not complex. I think the portions were too big. So that was a lesson. I think I'll try and find a place with a kitchenette where I can cook my own pasta and eat my own whatever, and just be really, really precise in the amount of, I think I ate too much those 2 days that I was there, 3 days. Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night before the race on Sunday. Okay. Bananas. There's a lot of opinions on bananas. I think I had 3 or 4 bananas in New York leading up to the race. Maybe, I think it was 3. It was at least 3, no more than 4. I think it was too much. I'm not a big banana guy, okay? So I think it's a little, even though I had bananas before the Pikes Peak Marathon and everything was great. And I had the same, just so you know, those Morton gels. That's what I use. I've been using those for at least 18 months, I would say, in my training and racing, the caffeinated versions. So that was not new, okay? But I think all of this added up to, I honestly think I ate too much, just eating New York pasta. And the oatmeal the day before, 24 hours before, it wasn't a huge portion of oatmeal. Look at the bowl. Not a huge portion, but it had a banana in it. I did have a little toast, dunked it in milk. The milk, it was a teeny tiny glass of milk. Anyway, lessons learned. I'm gonna get a kitchenette. There you go. That's my takeaway. All right, failure, which connects to the comment of the day, it's a beautiful thing. Embrace the failure, because you can learn from the failure. I didn't hit my goal. I was walking through Manhattan on my way to, it's okay. I think all of those little factors led up to the stomach issue, okay? Okay, moving on, mile 10 through 13, I'm starting to feel it. I'll get to the splits in a minute. Jordan starts to pull away from me. Go, Jordan, go. And I just can't go with him. It's like if I go with him, and at this point, I'm starting to be like, uh-oh, this could turn into a situation for 3 miles. Mile 10 to mile 13, halfway point, okay? I guess I'll throw on the screen right now. Again, my goal was to break 2:20. So here's my split at half marathon, which I looked at, and oh yeah, remember I wrote the splits on my hand. Key, clutch, amazing to do that, by the way. And mile 13 to mile 14, it starts to get real bad, all right? So I pull off at mile 14, first pit stop, and I stopped in a peak race. Never thought that would ever happen to me, ever. Right before the Queensboro Bridge, and then I enter into Solitude over the Queensboro Bridge, mile 15, 16. It's quiet, there's nobody on the bridge, it's just you and the pavement. One guy passed me that was rough. It's like, oh, I can't go with him. I just can't. It's like if I do, I don't know what's going to happen. So it was at that point where I had to grieve for 2 miles, and I went through the grieving process, and I let go. I said, okay. At that point, I said, okay, there goes 2:20. That's okay. Let's try and go to the A goal, PR. Let's PR. And then I get off the bridge, and it's getting worse. Grieving, still a little grieving, but I've accepted B goal gone. And then by mile 17, A goal gone. And then at that point, I think I had stopped at least one more time. And then I meet Ivor in the streets of New York. Thank you, Ivor, for everything you did out there, biking alongside me, filming with his phone, capturing these moments for you. And that's where I threw the towel in, started walking. And I had already grieved, processed, and said, okay, we're going to finish. We're going to seek some beauty out here. What did I say? Soak in the beauty.
That's right.
Seek beauty. Might as well seek a little beauty as we're out here. That was filmed at, I think, about mile 19-ish, heading into the Bronx. Head out of the Bronx. Oh, the boogie down, Bronx runners. Great guy, great group of people. This gentleman coming up, giving me a hug. So that was about mile 21, heading over the Madison Avenue Bridge into Harlem, and then down into Manhattan, Harlem. So it's getting worse and worse. Had to stop, keel over. I mean, it was bad. This is like mile probably 22-ish. All right. Then meet David. All right, David out there. Thank you, David. Spreading the love. Even though the day didn't work, he was still there out there to support. Amazing. DGR Strong through Manhattan all the way to 23, mile 23, which is the 5th Avenue Hill, where you really start to work before Central Park. And just the crowd energy, unprecedented. It felt so much louder than 2 years ago. Maybe it's because I was absorbing it more, because I was just, kind of cruising along. And what's so, I don't want to say sad, but at mile 23, I started to feel a little better. It was my last pit stop, and then I did pick it up. You can see it in the pacing. And then at mile 25, a mile to go, I was like, man, my legs feel amazing. The stomach's coming around a little bit. And I actually really did pick it up. I was probably running 5:50 or 6-minute pace, compared to 8 or 9 minute pace, whatever I was running, 10-minute pace. So that's a quick breakdown of the mental process, what actually happened, the stomach issue, and my thought on as to why it happened. I don't think I drank too much coffee, just so you know. What's my rule of thumb? 2 fingers. Maybe I had 3 fingers of coffee in the bottom of a Starbucks cup, because we woke up so early. We didn't start until 9, 10, and I was up at 4:30. What time did I wake up? 4:30. I think I was up at 4:30-ish, right around there. So who knows? Okay, splits. Here we go. I'm just breaking this down. And I know, thank you for listening to me here. It's oh man. So 2019, 2020 canceled, 2021. So I have some data now. Thank you, New York Roadrunners, for some great splits. And this is chip time. So this is not off the watch. This is like chip time. Really good timing, okay? So we'll start actually with 2019. Here we go. On the left side of your screen, 1646 for the 5K, 3340, 5047. So this is 15K, 20K, 25K, 107.46, 111.23. There it all is. I'm only going to go to that point for the splits because that's where, so 111 for the half marathon, 111.23 in 2019, because that's where I basically had to stop and throw in the towel for this year. So 2021, here are the splits. Okay, the goal again was to break 220 at least, so 219.59 or basically 520 pace, or remember what I said to Jordan at the top of the Verrazano Narrows Bridge? That's the pace right here. This is the pace. This is 319 right here. That's right, 319 pace, okay? So 319 per kilometer, which it's interesting. Jordan and I both train and race by kilometers, not by miles. Fascinating. So he understood what I meant by 319, which I'm going to mention him here in a minute. So 5K, 1645. So almost dead on. Isn't that interesting? By 1 second. That is amazing news. But then by 10K, 3309. Now, I should mention 2 years ago, that was 2 weeks after Amsterdam. So take it, a little bit of a grain of salt there. 15K, 49.46, 20K, 106.43, half marathon. I'm actually, everybody, this is where we raise the roof. Raise the roof. We got hope for 2022 or 2023 or whenever I meet the Verrazano Narrows Bridge again. Whenever we meet again, the fact that I went through the half marathon 2 or 3 days ago in 1:10:31, how I felt from mile 10 to mile 13 gets me very excited. Like, I felt great up until mile 10. Okay, I felt strong, but I did not feel good from 10 to 13 when Jordan started to pull away. And so I'm actually shocked that I was at 110 because my goal was 220, under 220. So that, I'm telling you, we were on pace. We were on pace. We were crushing. Again, the splits on my hand, clutch, very important. I was just like, Jordan, come with me, Jordan. I pulled ahead of Jordan a little bit in Brooklyn. I don't know the third place. This guy, never got his name, but congrats, man. I don't know how he did. I don't even know his name. But we were just clicking him off. So bottom line, I'm very excited for the future, which connects to the comment of the day here in a second. I guess I'll talk about Jordan right now. He did struggle toward the end. He collapsed at the finish line. I think he may have blacked out, but he PR'd. So congrats, Jordan. He PR'd. That was amazing on a hard course. So good job, Jordan. Just great job. Jordan, PR, it's a big deal. Okay, so here is the deal. I am discerning the future, as Bridget said last night at her birthday celebration. Stick a fork in us, we are done.
I gotta tell him something.
Okay.
I'm pushing for New York 2022. Just say
that.
I'm pushing for New York 2022.
You heard it here first. We got to figure out 2022, which is going to be, because now a lot of things have changed with races being moved around. So we're going to make another vlog probably next week about the 2022 racing schedule. Sound good? Comment of the day. I'm actually doing 2, and I'm going to, here we go. Kyle, you made me laugh. Nussbaum. He said, Seth going out in a suit with marker still on his hand. I hope you at least showered after running 26 miles. You made me laugh, Kyle. So we went out to dinner last night, and yes, it's still on my hands, permanent Sharpie. Anyway, you made me laugh, Kyle. But shout out to Dennis. Dennis, I don't know what to tell you. He says, Seth, I love the content and have for years, but I might be wrong, and forgive me if I am. But where is the anger, the frustration, the pain we would expect from a sub-elite who missed his mark? With all your sacrifice, it surely can't be all positive as you paint these videos. And frankly, that's an angle I think deserves as much attention. Rest up and go get him, Dennis. I don't know what to tell you, Dennis. I grieved. I grieved, Dennis, from mile 14 to mile 16. That was it. It was like, it was not fun going over the Queensboro compared to 2 years ago, especially. But it's like, what are you going to do? Like, once it happens, it happens. It's water under the bridge, pun intended. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, Dennis, you just can't get stuck in the frustration, the anger, it's like if you do, Dennis, you miss the next 10 miles of goodness through Manhattan, the Bronx, Harlem, back into Manhattan, Central Park. It's like there's so much more goodness out there in the world to absorb and to, why do I say seek beauty? Why do I say that? Because it's like if you shut down and close out absorbing what is really at our fingertips as runners, especially in a big city marathon, I think we're missing most of the point. So, Dennis, I don't know, but I appreciate your sentiment because it is, I grieved for 2 miles. All right, question of the day. When did you have a race that did not go as planned, and how did you deal with it? Okay? We've all been there. All right? So if you're a new runner, welcome to the channel. A lot of new subscribers. Thanks for hitting that subscribe button. I know that was a little long, but I think it was fun. It's fun. It's part of the process of training, racing, and reflecting on your peak race. That's it. Onward and upward. New York City Marathon playlist right there, right there, right there. And once again, we'll break down the entire New York City Marathon training block soon, in the next couple of days. Well, it might be next week, but probably the next couple of days. Right there, right there, right there. Onward and upward. All right. Seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.